Pretty excited because tomorrow is Thanksgiving and I'm getting all of our food prepped. Not all of it, what I can get prepped. So I'm making some cornbread for Southern cornbread dressing. For those of you that don't know what that is, like I didn't until I moved to the South, it's in place of stuffing. Stuffing has never been something I've liked. I've tasted it every year of my life growing up to see if maybe I would like it, and every year I was disappointed. But as soon as I moved to Tennessee, I tried Southern cornbread dressing, and it is my favorite part of Thanksgiving. It is exquisite. The difference between it and stuffing is that it is cornbread versus white bread. I've never made stuffing, so I'm assuming it's white bread. There is some white bread and cornbread stuffing or dressing, but the cornbread is what sets it apart. It is so tasty. And very often people ask me, like, what do you guys eat for Thanksgiving? Because we eat so healthy, right? It depends on what your definition of health is. Quality of food and where food comes from has a lot to do with my definition of health. I don't think milk is not healthy, especially particularly raw organic milk from the farmer's market. I don't consume it in huge quantities, but when I'm going to consume it, it's from there, and I think it's totally fine. Same thing with my butter, raw butter, my eggs, farm fresh eggs, my flour, home milled organic grain. So the quality of the food has a lot to do with whether it's healthy or not. So our cornbread dressing is the exact same ingredients as anybody around town is making their cornbread dressing with. It's just the quality is so different, the nutrients is still there. Nothing's from a box, nothing's from a can, it is all whole food. So right here I have a cup and a quarter of organic cornmeal and a cup of my organic wheat that I ground up myself. And I'm going to add to it some raw milk. Just a second. Some raw milk from the farmer's market, some raw butter that I made myself from raw cream that I bought at the farmer's market, an egg from my backyard, and some celery, some bone broth that I made from my organic chicken bones instead of store-bought boxed chicken broth. And these are things that are in my home already. I'm not like going crazy for Thanksgiving. We always have bone broth in the fridge. We always have cornmeal in the pantry. We always have freshly milled grain. So these are just things that are a part of our life, and now we use it in place of all the old stuff we used to use, processed box stuff. And this has been our lifestyle for a good 7 years now, and it becomes normal. It's not this hard, crazy work anymore. It's like super just easy. And I didn't change everything all at once. One little change at a time. So yeah, just wanted to share that. And so that is pretty much the same with the rest of our Thanksgiving meal. Like, we have an organic turkey, we bought organic bacon, we always drape bacon all over the turkey, and it's amazing because it cooks in that fat, and then we take the bacon off as an appetizer before the turkey's ready. Delicious. The dressing I've described for you. The potatoes are organic with raw organic cream from the farmer's market and raw butter. And yep, it's all fat, but you know what? I think fat sometimes is good, and I think there's good fats and bad fats. And I do think dairy is not necessarily healthy for you, but we're not eating dairy the way that we used to eat dairy, which I think the average American eats 200 to 300 pounds of dairy a year, and that's insane. I can confidently say I have less than 50 pounds of dairy a year. So I don't think that it's doing the damage that it would have been doing if I had kept on my old course, you know? So the changes we've made have been for the better, but I don't, have like quinoa and salad for Thanksgiving. We have a Thanksgiving meal, and it's all homemade, non-processed, delicious, quality ingredients. And so have a healthy Thanksgiving, but don't cut corners with the flavor. Enjoy!